and frontliners could be rewarded.
From the studios of FBC Suva, Edwin Nunn.
Uluwanaka, Fiji. The Fiji national sevens team has dedicated the gold medal win at the Tokyo Olympic Games to the country as it battles the COVID-19 pandemic. The side beat New Zealand 27-12 last night in Tokyo.
That game plan worked, and all the players contributed to that, not just in the final but through the 3 days. So it's it's a job well done, and that's sort of how you sort of dust yourself down and walk away, is that you got out of it what you came in for.
History maker Jerry Tuwai revealed that he nearly ran away from camp one day. Final year students from the Fiji National University are helping in data processing and are not looking after COVID-19 patients. Minister for Health Dr. Ifiremi Wangai-Nambete says it was vital to engage them as the ministry is facing challenges. Dr. Wangai-Nambete says the ministry is facing issues with the turnaround time of testing results. Kritika Kumar reports.
The Health Minister says they are in discussion with the TISI Sangam as well and have looked at some of the graduates who can be brought in to assist the ministry.
And we are we've asked them to have some of their final year student doctors help us with the backhand data processing. As you may be aware, we've had some issues where we are testing so many people.
Dr. Wangai-Nambete says they are also putting their staff on rotational shifts.
We're looking at a system of actually being able to provide a rotational basis for our staff. We have staff from Lautoka and Labasa that are currently in Suba supporting FEMET.
Permanent Secretary for Health Dr. James Fong had earlier highlighted that they have reorganized the PPE distribution program to make it readily available to all healthcare workers.
3 months of this outbreak, we have transitioned from having our healthcare teams working in work bubbles during the containment phase to our current mitigation phase strategy of escalating the infection prevention and control measures.
The ministry has received a $25 million allocation specifically dedicated for COVID-19 response for testing, isolation, quarantine and vaccination drive. Kritika Kumar, FBC News.
The government is open to the possibility of rewarding frontline workers when Fiji is in a financial and economic position to do so. Minister for Economy Aya Said Kayum said this in response to opposition MP Lenorang Gerengere Tambua, who's moved a motion in Parliament to allocate $1 million as risk pay. The NFP member says frontliners are putting their lives at risk and deserve recognition. Said Kayum says for now, the government is doing all it can with the funds it has.
With so many of them becoming sick, so many of them needing hospitalization, I really would like to ask this House to vote in favor of this increase to personal emoluments to the public health services staff so that they are able to have some financial security.
There's no denying that we want to be able to reward them. We want to be, they've been publicly recognized, and in the future, God willing, if everybody gets vaccinated, the economy picks up, then we have the ability to go back and help people and perhaps reward them financially if we're we have the capacity to do that.
Construction work continues for the Nakasi, Nandi, Lautoka and Nalawa police stations. Work on the Nakasi police station is at 51% and is expected to be complete by March 1st next year at a total cost of $35.9 million. Work on the Nandi police station is at 81%, and the Lautoka police station is expected to be complete by December. $150,000 has been allocated for the upgrade of the Nasese dog kennel. Defence Minister Inia Seruiratu says another $1 million will help in the renovation, extension and upgrade of police posts, stations and quarters.
Hopefully, and we will be able to complete these stations, Lautoka, Nandi, and of course Nakasi, except for Nalawa, probably that will go into the next financial year as well, but that is progressing well, and because of the contracts that have been signed.
Dollar Things continues to support the economy through investments, opening a new shop in Fiji despite the current situation. Director Andy Yu says the newly opened shop at Damodar City in Suva is the third branch on Viti Levu, and they've invested around $2 million in establishing their shops. The new shop also has provided a lifeline for 10 Fijians who are able to secure a job during these tough times. Yu says they plan to employ 20 at the shop when things return to normal. He adds their second shop based in Nandi is ready to open, but the COVID-19 pandemic has delayed plans. The director adds they plan to have more shops across Fiji once the country is free of the coronavirus. To our latest COVID-19 update, Fiji had 1,057 new COVID-19 infections for the period ending 8 a.m. yesterday. The Health Ministry also recorded 12 new COVID-19 deaths between the 24th and the 27th of this month. Fiji has recorded 26,126 cases since April of this year. There are now 19,168 active cases in isolation with 6,706 recoveries. The COVID-19 death toll stands at 218. The vaccination campaign also continues. As of earlier today, 464,291 or 79.1% of the population has received their first dose of the AstraZeneca vaccine. 120,437 people or 20.5% have received the second dose. The 5 most vaccinated areas include Ba and Rewa at 100% first jabbed, Nanonga, Naitasiri and Nandi are next. And Fijians take to the streets. Stay with us. Welcome back. For Gareth Baber's wife Danielle, it's been a while since she has seen her husband smile the way he did last night after winning gold at the Tokyo Olympic Games.
I had faith that they would do it, but for them to have actually achieved it. And for Gareth, I'm so happy. He rang us immediately from the stadium when they finished, and I haven't seen him smile so much for a long time.
The Fiji Seven side's win last night meant a lot to many, including the family of Iosefo Masi. These are the emotional scenes at Masi's village Waitambu in Taveuni after the final whistle. His parents were in tears and being hugged by those around them as the match television commentary played out in the background. There was cheering, clapping and whistling from others in the room. Iosefo Masi never featured in the World Series but won gold at the Olympics with Sireli Mangala and Chiuta Wainingolo. And as the final whistle sounded last night, celebrations began here at home. And the Fijiana has lost its first game at the Olympic Women's Rugby Sevens. The side has been beaten 12-5 this afternoon and plays Canada later tonight. We lost to France in our first match. Isolation and the absence of family and friends have taken a toll on athletes' mental health at the Tokyo Olympics. This with some struggling to cope with the challenges posed by the health crisis. Cloudy periods with some showers over Kandavu and nearby smaller islands, Lomaiviti and Lau Group, the interior and eastern parts of the larger islands. And that's FBC News Now. Join me again for our 1-hour major bulletin at 7 p.m. and be sure to download the FBC app to access the latest in news, sports and live radio broadcasts on any of our 6 radio stations. Stay safe and good afternoon.